Hi, my name is Jo. I am the owner, designer, lead creator, lead everything at So-Hi-Do Vinylworks. This is one wall of my shop. This is where I actually spend a lot of my time. I have my sublimation printer right here. Got, of course, all of my heat transfer vinyl right behind me. And off to the side, I actually have two different cutting machines. They're both the same cutting machine though. Both of them are Silhouette Cameo 3 machines. Both of them cut 12 inches wide, but one of them is my very first vinyl cutter, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Well, for most of my adult life, I have actually worked in corporate, and I would go home and de-stress from work by crafting. And I think that's something that a lot of people do, because I think a lot of us creative types are kind of pigeonholed into those kinds of jobs where it's like you have to have a paycheck, you have to have benefits, you have to be, a productive adult in society. So we get into jobs where we're not really a fit, and in order to feel like ourselves, we devote time in our off hours to doing that. And that was me for a very long period of my life. I've always been a really creative person. It was very difficult for me to find a craft that I didn't like or want to try. At one point, I don't know how I stumbled onto it, but I found either an article or a YouTube video about vinyl cutting. And that changed everything for me. I never knew that there was a machine really where I could put my own art into the machine and then have it actually cut that design out. And so as soon as I found out that this machine was even a thing, I was super excited about it, and I was pretty darn sure that I wanted one right away. Unlike what I would normally have done, which is just go out, buy the thing, use it once, whatever, I actually waited for a whole month. And in that month, I went on YouTube. I researched different videos to see the difference between the different cutting machines. The Cameo 3 is what actually stuck out to me as what I thought would fit me best. The software seemed more flexible and more friendly to someone who actually wanted to get in the nitty-gritty of designing things and be able to do things from scratch than the other ones did. I get this machine up and running, and I make my very first decal. That week, I don't even know how many decals I ended up doing. After that, I finally got brave enough to try heat transfer vinyl, and I made my own stuff on a shirt, and that was another life-changing moment. And then I would try a different method. I would try glitter, or I would try foil, or I would try multiple colors. Ultimately, now vinyl is much less of what I do, but that machine is still a really important part of my business. That machine is how I do all of my print and cut stickers. And that was another life changer for me, the ability to not be limited to 1 or 3 colors at a time, but to be able to print a whole spectrum and then have, a little portable piece of artwork that I created right in my hand. Like, I still geek out every time. Every single time. It is such a cool feeling. It is just such a cool feeling to be able to do it and to know, like, oh my gosh, I drew this on my iPad and now it's an actual physical sticker, and I sell it in my business. Eventually, I ended up quitting that corporate day job. I went back to school for graphic design. Joining Etsy and joining YouTube are relatively new things, but I'm really happy with how those have been turning out too. I started my shop with the thought that I couldn't find people who made the stuff that I wanted. It was always too cutesy or too cookie cutter. I know what I like, and I wasn't seeing what I liked out there. And so the whole name of the business is based on that. Other people don't make the stuff I want, so I do. And the rest is history. So that's the story of the shop and how it got started. I just figured it would be a good idea to actually do an introductory video and have people get to know a little bit more about me. Please don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I don't know. And that's it. There's nothing else. Not for today. See you next week. I have to stop making that face.